thank you for joining me on the Taliesin Antiques YouTube channel today. My name is Kieran Hughes-Jones and I wanted to do a special video today to talk to you about a piece of Chinese art that I found, which is unusual and shows themes which you don't normally find on these works. I just want to give you a little bit of a background about how I ended up with the piece. It was at a car boot sale. If you're not based in the UK, you may not have heard of these before, but it's quite simple. It's where people want to clear out of items from their house, they pack it all into the boot of their car, they drive to a field somewhere, and it's like a little market, people buying off each other. Really wonderful traditional event. And I was at one of them, and I saw in the corner of my eye, probably a couple of cars over from where I was, somebody pull out this little vase, and something just clicked straight away. I must have bought them so many times now that I just knew that looks Chinese, and it looked like a Canton enamel. As I got closer towards it, because I stopped what I was doing, I went straight towards that. I got closer and closer, and I started to realise this is not what I normally find. And I was wondering, is this something a little bit different? Now I'm going to show you what I found, and it's this piece here. And I'm going to show you a little bit closer, because you might be able to see already. These scenes are unusual compared to what you'd normally would expect to find on Canton enamel works. Usually you see Chinese motifs or symbolism from the Chinese culture and the religions potentially. But no, these are European subjects. They feature European scenes that you would traditionally see in European art of around the 17th century. So of course that grabbed my eye, and I was there just looking at it for quite a while. Now of course I said to the person, how much are they looking for? And they said to me, well, that's a £5. Which, if you know your car boot sales, you know that sometimes can be a lot of money for something which is clearly damaged, and you know, if you don't know what it is, you might not put a lot of value on it. So obviously I was happy to pay it, but the guy just said to me, look, you look so keen to it. You look so keen. I just thought it must be something, so I asked for more money than I normally would. I thought, fair enough, don't blame you. So there we go. That's what I ended up with. Now, why was I so interested and so keen on this piece, especially considering it is damaged? There is chippings all along it. You see these like copper holes and everything. Well, it was the European scenes. Those what we're looking at here was the Chinese interpretation of what they saw on prints, trade cards, pictures that had made it over to China in, I say the 18th century mainly. Now the thing about those works, if they are dating from that period, there are amazing examples of sold results that you'll see in all the major auction houses, hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands. These early works with European subjects are extremely collectible, desired, and that's because it gives you a real sense of what people who didn't see each other very often pictured each other as, you know, and how that emerged into art. It was such a fascinating joining together of cultures. Now the story is that this working, which was mainly centered around Guangzhou, and I say it's more commonly known now as Canton enamel, this dates back, the work in China dates back to the 17th, 18th century when the Jesuits, missionaries from Europe came over, and this was a technique they shared. It is different to cloisonné. My understanding is that the use of wires is totally different, whereas a lot of the Canton enamels is painted on a lot more rather than using wires to depict the motif. And it became really popular during that Qianlong period, and even works were being made for the emperor. So this is in the 1700s. Became a very highly desired, and still to this day it's actually quite unusual because porcelain was made, you know, tons and tons of porcelain was made and shipped over. This type of work and this type of art was a lot more unusual, and it's a lot rarer to find. So let's have a closer look at these three scenes, and this is what makes this particular vase so interesting to me, is that there's 3 panel scenes of European subjects. The first one that grabbed my eye, you can see here, and it's of a gentleman in a tricorn hat, and you got these 2 little dogs playing around, and these 2 children, which I assume are based on cherubs, you know, the cherubs you'd see in European art. And there's a potential, maybe there's a humorous side to this as well, that there was potentially a belief that that's what European children look like because of the cherubs that made it onto a lot of the 17th century artworks. So I find that just quite a funny scene in itself. The next scene there, as you see here, There's another gentleman in the tricorn hat with a younger child. This time looks a lot, doesn't look so so much like a cherub. And unfortunately, there is damage there, so you can't really see the animal that is being depicted, but it looks like it was probably a deer or something along those lines on that piece. And then you go to the next panel scene, and here we have, again, the man in the tricorn hat, obviously quite a famous image of a Western or European in China during that period. And then you have the lady dressed up in her robes, and the child again. Just you can just imagine, can't you, that they saw these works, these prints of European art of the time depicting what Europeans look like, and this is their version and this is what they picked up. I just find it such a fascinating joining together of cultures that you can see why these European subject scenes are so highly desired. You can see now why I was so excited to pick this piece up, but I have to be honest, I was starting to believe, well, could this be an 18th century piece? And if it was, even with this amount of damage, it was going to be extremely valuable. What makes this so unusual is the fact it has those 3 panel scenes. Usually when you see these works, there's one scene, European scene. Rarely do you see 3. There is a mark on the base as well. I knew that would help. And I did sought advice on this, a second opinion, to identify the date. So I wanted to make sure that was right, and it is a highly respected Asian art expert that I went to, and they advised me that whilst everything is amazing about this piece, it is a lot later. This goes to the early 20th century and would have been made as a tribute to those earlier works. You see, in China, they would have been as fascinated by these joining together of 2 different cultures who had very little interaction with each other at the time, and they would be revered. They would revere these early works of European subjects as much as we would do. Of course, by that period in the early 20th century, they didn't have to guess what Europeans looked like. They would have been very familiar with them, far more so than they would have been back when this technique would have first started. And that in itself, that part of the story of this piece, I find truly fascinating too. I think that's just an amazing thing that it shows that genuine, that human interest that we have in people which come from different backgrounds to us, and their cultures and traditions spans across the world, and it makes its way into different works of art. So what's it worth? And of course, if this was an original 18th century piece with these 3 panel scenes, we'd be talking about an astronomical figure. As a later piece, but in the early 20th century, then of course the value is a lot different. A lot of the value in those early pieces is the originality and the fact that they were made during the time when the artwork could be depicting what somebody maybe genuinely thought a European looked like at the time. That's not the case with this. This is a later artwork, still over 100 years old. If it was in perfect condition, of course the value would go up, although I don't know if you like me, but sometimes I feel like condition just gets fretted over far too much. Sometimes this is how antiques come, and you make a decision, do you still think it's worth keeping or not? And I think in this case it truly absolutely is. The main value in the scenes is still there. I value this at £250, and I do wonder if some people will say, well, that's too much, but look, I'm an antique dealer. I'm not looking to sell this quickly. I'm not looking to put it in auction and assume I would get that much in auction. I don't know what it would get in auction. I look at this as a piece of work that I will be very lucky to find something similar to again. It's a very rare work and, incredibly well done with the 3 panel scenes and telling an incredible story that I'm happy to keep it as long as I need to. And I'm sure somebody one day will buy this and at the price I'm asking and actually think, well, I'm happy to part with that because they'll feel the same. They will see another one as well. Well, that's the video today. I thank you for joining me, and I would love to hear your thoughts on the piece. Please leave a comment and let me know what you think. If you are interested in seeing any more of my items I have for sale, please visit my website. It's taliesinantiques.com, and we do ship worldwide. If you've enjoyed the video today, I would appreciate if you could press the like button, if you could give a subscribe to the channel. These are all free things to do. And if you are on Patreon, if you could become a member of my Patreon channel, that's also free as well. Other than that, I thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day. All the best. Bye bye now.